There's a multi-billion dollar industry that is doing marketing completely wrong, and you deserve to know what it is, why, and how to fix it, because you might be making the mistake too. I am Joshua Lisec. This is Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, ghostwriter of more than 100 nonfiction books now, and a certified hypnotist. Through this unique lens of experiences, I teach you how to better influence the VIPs of your life, your career, and the world. The industry I'm talking about, of course, is book publishing. You might know that 8 out of 10 books published lose money, that 9th out of 10 just breaks even on what the authors get invested in the book by the publisher via the advance and marketing and whatnot. But it's that 10th book that's a runaway success. It's the David Baldacci, it's the James Rollins, it's the James Patterson, it's the Danielle Steele, it's the Robert Greene, it's the Timothy Ferriss, etc., so on and so forth. That's the book that really saves the industry. And the way that those books ultimately are marketed is that they're marketed to everyone. This book is for everyone because the publisher doesn't know which niche it's going to resonate with the most. So they have the author take a shotgun approach. The acquisitions editor will say, open up the book and be inclusive of all viewpoints, backgrounds, perspectives, and lived experiences. Because they don't know who it's for. It is a product in search of a market. It is a solution in search of a problem. One success story of this was the famously best-selling book, Atomic Habits. You might recall the author giving interviews prior to the release of the book and then shortly thereafter that he sort of had to guess which niches were going to most resonate with the book. And so he blasted out advanced copies, called galleys or advanced reading copies, to influencers in a few dozen different niches. And the influencers that responded and marketed the book to their audiences for him were vegan influencers, sort of vegan Atomic Habits, and CrossFit Atomic Habits, right? And it was those niches that ultimately springboarded, whatever it is, the book to nationwide success. It was a product in search of a market, solution in search of a problem to solve, and it did find that. Now, the problem is most authors and aspiring authors or creators of any other product, you're not going to mail out 500 copies or versions of your product or your book or whatever as a test to see which is going to resonate the most. Probably not going to do that. Okay? Now, the guesswork-based approach demonstrably does not work because 9 out of 10 either lose money that do this or just simply break even. We want to do better. We want to create a movement. We want to start something amazing. Therefore, the more hyper-specific you can get with your marketing, the better, especially when you do not have a massive nationwide platform or the biggest marketing budget available. I want to tout as an alternative to the spray and pray approach. Dr. Philip Ovadia, my client, stay off my operating table. This book has sold about 63,000 copies so far. It's independently published. There's not a big publisher or big distributor or any of that. This is all Dr. Ovadia giving interviews. Now, one of the reasons why the book does so well is because it is a runaway word-of-mouth marketing success. It's recommended to people who recommend it to people who recommend it to people. The author's platform was only 1,200 followers when the book came out. Think about that. To get a book deal with a major publisher, nowadays, you got to have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers, customers already on social media to prove that you're legit. And that's not what Phil did. Look at what Phil did. 1,200 followers. Leverage that into 63,000 copies sold. Word of mouth is a big deal because when we imagined who is going to be reading this book, we wrote it for them. We imagined, hypothetically, let's say, this book is going to be read by a 58-year-old woman whose 60-year-old husband just came back from family doctor, and they said, you're at elevated risk for a cardiovascular event. I'm going to put you on statins. You should change your diet. Or you have 5 years left or less. And the wife, hearing this from her husband, is now thinking, what do I do? What do I feed him? You know, I don't know if I'm going to be in much better health than he because we basically eat the same thing. What do we do? Notice how hyper-specific the demographics and the psychographics are. I told you a story about who that book is for. And of course, by targeting that very specific person, we target everyone else. So that is your advice. A 10% chance or less is something like the Atomic Habits spray and pray approach. Let's just see who likes it. Let's mail out 500 copies of this. If your publisher is not going to pay for that kind of thing, you don't have that kind of resources or access, you got to instead be hyper specific about who this is for, who your product, your service, your art, your thing is for. And they have to be a real person that does exist in large quantities. Excuse me. Which this hypothetical 58-year-old wife of the 60-year-old husband does. And that is who the book is for. That is how you daily persuade.